Hello, this is Aviation Blue Tech. Today's video is going to be a review of these four models. I have the MAS Cargo 747-400 freighter from Phoenix. I have a CZECH Airlines Airbus 330-300 from Phoenix. Finnair MD-11 from Gemini. And the Alitalia 777-200 on the SkyTeam paint scheme from Phoenix. So let's take a closer look at these models. We have a MAS Cargo 747-400 freighter from Phoenix. Registration is 9Mike-Mike Papa Sierra. I picked up this model at a discounted price. Really, that's the only reason why I purchased it. I am collecting, a lot of the cargo models right now. I do have this one, an MAS Cargo, but I have it on the Airbus 330 -200 freighter, that's what they're using now. I'm not sure if they're still using these. But I believe they're facing them out anyway. So, but it's an older model, but it still looks pretty nice. I didn't really find anything wrong, except the one of the left wheel is kind of crooked. I mean, the model is really heavy, compared to the newer models. But not particularly too fond of the paint scheme. It's not my favorite. But I picked it up because I got it at a discount. So, other than that, it's one of those that if you get it, I guess, at a good price, pick it up. If not, you could pass and, so I will, if I have to give a rating on this one, I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. Just because it's, it's an older model, and I did find, like I said, the right gear is crooked to the left, and I believe the nose gear is also crooked to the left also. So, but that's it on this model. Next, we have a CZECH Airlines Airbus 330-300 from Phoenix. Registration is Oscar Quebec dash Yankee Bravo Alpha. Again, this one was it was a discounted on this. I'm not sure exactly how much, but I know it was a lot less than retail value. So I decided to pick this one up. After I picked it up, I thought that they might be flying to the U.S., but as of right now, they're not. So as far as if you are one of those that collect models and like to do realistic airport updates, and you are in the U.S., then this might not be the model for you, because they do not fly to the U.S. at this moment. But as far as the model, just the only discrepancy I could find was the nose gear is crooked to the left on this one also. I don't know if it must be a Phoenix thing, because I always have issues with the gears. Either they crooked to the left or they crooked to the right. And I think was the inboard left wing was not completely bonded to the model. So other than that, like I said, the paint scheme, it's a nice looking model. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to display it at an airport unless I do a foreign airport on it. So as far as the rating, just the little discrepancies that I found, I would give this one a 7 out of 10. Again, like I said, unless you do in an European, or even I think they do fly to some parts in South America, but just not the U.S. So if unless you plan to do in one of those airports, I would definitely skip this one. Next, we have a Finnair Cargo MD-11 by Gemini Jets. Registration is Oscar Hotel dash Lima Golf Charlie. This one was, I was in the fence about buying this because Finnair, I don't believe they're in the cargo business anymore as far as that I know of. So again, but this was one of those models that I decided to pick it up. I love the paint scheme that it has. You know how I mentioned before about the solid white with just the contrast colors of the blue and white. Just I just love those about the models like that. And also as far as Gemini, they when it came to the MD-11s, the mold they got it right. And it just looks really really nice. So I picked it up. So if you are into the cargo model collection, I would definitely recommend this one. It's a solid. Didn't really find any issues with it. I took around, took a look around. I didn't find any, as I could see. So this one is like the Lufthansa MD-11 that I reviewed on another video. Gemini they have done a good job with these. So this one, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. It gets some points off because it's no longer really flying, as far as I know. So, you wouldn't be able to actually be using it unless you're not doing a realistic airport update. So, but other than that, again, like I said, for display and just if this is what you guys like to do, collect cargo models, then yeah, go ahead and recommend picking it up. The last model that I have is the Alitalia on the SkyTeam paint scheme from Phoenix, 777-200. Registration is Echo India Delta Hotel. This was one of those models that I was looking for a while. I mean, SkyTeam is one of my favorite paint schemes out there. I love the look of the gray with that I guess that blue color in the back, I guess, or that navy blue. So it is one of my favorite paint schemes out there. And also the Alitalia green is also one of my favorite paint schemes on as far as the regular paint scheme on the Alitalia. So the 777-200, they fly once in a while to I know for JFK for sure. I know they mainly use the Airbus 330-200, but this one I know you probably see it on especially if I do LAX. I think you will probably see it there. So I definitely wanted to get it. It's kind of a rare model to get, and I found it and I picked it up. So as far as any discrepancies, I didn't find. Well, I did find one, which was the left gear, which is pointing to the inboard side, so it's basically crooked. So that was the only issue that I found as far as I could see. But with a lot of these models, you always gotta find always some type of discrepancy on it. So it's not you rarely get something that's 100%. Unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But as far as the model itself, she is a beauty. I would definitely recommend getting this model if you could get your hands on one. And it's especially if you collect. I know some guys collect. They try to grab all the paint schemes for a particular, the alliances. So SkyTeam, and they try to pick every single one model that was made for that particular paint scheme. So if you actually that's what you guys do, then I would definitely of course recommend getting it. But even if you don't do that, I will definitely recommend pick this up. She is a beauty. other than the discrepancy that I told you guys about with the gear. This one would be an 8.5 out of 10. This concludes this video review of these models. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Believe I got a couple of more I got to do, so stay tuned for those. So until next time, take care.